Hey Danny, we're out here and we're going to do a flight test for you of your X-Quad 360. So I'm going to show you some of the features of your quad, as well as talk about the LED on the NASA and some of those things you'll need to pay attention to before you take off. So let's go ahead and give it a flight test.
Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the green light for the LEDs, and then it flashes red. So what it's doing is it's acquiring satellites right now. You can pick up 7 different satellites, and as it continues to go here, what we'll see, yeah, there it goes. It's all green. So when you're getting just the green LED, that means that it's acquired its satellites and you're ready to fly. If you take off before that turns green like that, you're risking possibly a fly off or abnormal behavior in the air due to the fact that it doesn't kind of know where it's at. It would be like trying to find your location on your cell phone and it says you're 2,000 meters to the north. Same idea here. So make sure that you get all of your satellites before you take off.
It's a little windy today. What it's doing is it'll float around just a little bit as it grabs the satellite lock. As you can see how it kind of stabilizes there, and again, it is a little bit windy. The smaller quads get blown around a little bit more in the wind, but it's doing pretty good out there holding its location. That was GPS mode. Now we're going to switch it into attitude mode. And as you can see, we'll move this around so you can see the orange blinking light. Orange blinking light indicates you're in attitude mode. We'll put that back into GPS mode. All right. We'll come on down.
Something else that I need to point out that's super important. You'll notice that the GPS compass is pointed directly forward. You see the little arrow there. It's pointed directly forward with the front of the craft. If this GPS compass gets, out of whack or something, say you transport it and it shows up and it's 45 degrees off to one of, direction left or right there, what'll happen is your quad will probably do toilet bowl circles or fly off like crazy. So you definitely don't want that to happen. You want this arrow pointed directly forward with the craft. That's just something to double check before you take off.
We've got your X-Quad 360 here. We're going to go through some of the features and functions of your quad package. And let's start with the transmitter, and we'll give you an overview of the switches and their functions. Got your transmitter here, and you can see back there there's also an instruction manual that'll come with it. But all of your settings have been preset and you are ready to go. So no need to modify anything here. So let's start off with the green switch. This is your flight mode. So in the top position, it's in GPS. Now it defaults to that every time unless you change it to another position. Let's say like the middle position would be attitude mode, and then the bottom position is manual mode. So defaults to GPS, sportier is in your attitude mode, and then of course again your manual, it's full manual flight. Now let's go over here. and we're going to talk about your yellow switch. This is your failsafe. It doesn't matter what mode you're in. You could be in GPS, attitude, or even manual mode. You flick this switch forward here, and that's going to return to its recorded GPS location that it took in the very beginning when you first plugged in your battery. And it will hover over where it started, and it will lower itself down, and it'll land, it'll shut off the motors for you. And that's your fail-safe function there. Okay, and then the only other knob that I have programmed here would be this one. This knob is programmed for your gains. So right now I have your gain set to a level where it'll fly perfect in GPS mode, and then if you turn it into attitude mode, you may want to rotate this just a little bit to make your gains go up a little bit so it'll handle it a little better. So that's your transmitter. Just follow the color-coded switches, and the rest of them are unused, so don't even worry about those at all. Only the ones that have the color. So let's talk about the quad. As I said in the email, I upgraded your whole system to a 4S setup. So we've got DJI motors, we've got DJI speed controllers, and then we've also got the 360 millimeter frame. So this is one cool bird. Let's start off and talk about the FPV equipment. Alright, so let's talk about the video transmitter and how that works with the GoPro to get your image. So here we go. We've got your antenna that goes to your video transmitter, and I would recommend when you're flying, it's probably going to be better to have that out like that, or maybe even pointed down a little bit if you can. But you can experiment, play with that, see what works best for you. It might just work good like this. You've got your live video out cable here going to your GoPro. Okay, so you'll notice in the side of the GoPro over here, you see the little spots. So you'll put this live video cable right in there. And after you turn on your camera, okay, you're going to need to power your video transmitter for your FPV stuff. I set this up on a separate battery for you because it will reduce the radio frequency noise that you'll get in your FPV equipment and your image by not having to use the main battery. So by using a secondary battery, it's really going to improve your range and your clarity. So you want to power that up, you plug these in right here. So you're plugging these in, that's powering your video transmitter. Then you put this cable into your GoPro and turn on the GoPro. And at that point, you're going to we'll grab your receiver here. This is your receiver. On the back, you've got an audio video 1, audio video 2, and those are outputs. All right, and then of course you got your power. All right, so what we've done for your power here for this, to make it portable, so you can take it with you, I soldered in a plug on the power cable for you. So you use this battery to power this. This is going to be for your audio video out, so you can just plug in whatever monitor or viewing device you have, and with this set up and turned on the way that I explained a moment ago, this plugged into power, plugged into your monitor, you're going to see what the GoPro sees, and of course you can record that and you're good to go. Okay, so this is an isolation deck. You can see the carbon fiber, and then there's rubber mounting dampeners between this plate and the carbon fiber. So the GoPro is actually isolated from the frame, and that's going to kill your jello and make your flight experience a whole lot better. Now when you're putting on your blades, you want to make sure that you have the proper blades on. So the carbon fiber blades that they sent me for you were actually not keyed for these motors because I upgraded you. So in the meantime, I'll get you some of those, but in the meantime I'm sending you an extra set of blades. So you want to make sure that you put the right ones on. So pretty simple. This is clockwise motion. Now this is the front of the bird. So clockwise motion, the diagonal motor over here is also clockwise. Then you got counterclockwise up here and counterclockwise back there. Well, that's been the setup for your X360. I hope you love it, and of course if you have any questions, just give me a holler. Thanks, Danny.